Hi. Okay, I'm on the floor in my living room and I thought that we could talk about Grey's again. I made a list, I don't know how to explain it, the TierManker thing for Grey's Anatomy characters. I'll put it in the description so that you can partake if you would like to. I did all of my rankings by emojis because that's how I wrote my notes to my best friend about the characters that I was liking and whatnot. And so I'm going to go through there and put my heart out on the line, and I'm sure people are gonna yell at me for my opinions. I would just like to say, we all like different people in real life. We all have different friends. We're interested in different people. And so the same is gonna go for characters. I will get yelled at. I have some hot takes, and I don't say that lightly. Also, I would tread lightly if you're like really trying not to get anything spoiled. So let's start off nice and easy. The very first character icon is Alex. And so we're gonna move him right up here to the top tier. I love Alex. This isn't anything new or special. Most people love Alex. When my roommate, my best friend, would watch Grey's in our room and I'd watch over her shoulder, I just knew that he would be one of my favorite characters from the few scenes that I saw. And she said the same thing. She said from the get-go, as soon as she knew like the kind of guys that I liked and the characters that I love, she's like, oh, Alex Krev is gonna be your favorite character when you finally watch it. Next, Amelia Shepherd. I regret saying we were gonna go in order. Here's where it gets interesting. I don't think that this is a hot take per se, but people will argue with me about it. Amy goes in the trash people tier. I know she's had a lot of trauma. I know she's gone through a lot. You can say all of that over and over again. I could watch Private Practice. I get it. But that's no excuse to treat the people around her like they do not matter. Amy suffers from like main character syndrome. Like she thinks that she's the only person in the world that matters and she doesn't consider anyone else. She's a very inconsiderate person. Trash people. April Kepner is next. She's gonna go... Okay, this is my I don't really have an opinion. They're just kind of there for me. She was lower when the show started. Like when she first came in, I was very annoyed by her. But I grew up in a Christian home and I understand being like the good girl. And so I always thought her character was very interesting and the ways that they chose to reveal different storylines about her. But I still just find her annoying. So she's gonna go in this Arizona goes up here with Alex. I love Arizona. I think she definitely was faulted by, in my opinion, some poor writing. I don't think that her character would do some of the things that she does later in the seasons. Otherwise, she's just cute and bubbly and happy. And not to mention, I love her relationship with her and Alex. Callie's gonna go in this tier with April. Callie is my best friend's favorite character, or one of them. And I totally understand why people are drawn to her and really like her character, but she was just never my fave. Karina DeLuca. Karina also, this is probably gonna be one of the bigger tiers. She's okay. I don't love her. She's just kind of there. Christina goes in the fire category. This is very she's iconic. Whether or not you actually like Christina or think that you would actually like her in real life, she's iconic and she serves up some of the best lines of the show and she's very crucial to it. The show changes with or without her. Derek goes right here. Early in the seasons, I get he's charming. It's very hard not to forgive him every time he does something terrible. You see the charm that Meredith is talking about. But after a while, it just happens too often that I'm I already forgave you 5 times for something like this. Why would I do it again? And in my opinion, he has some scenes that are entirely unforgivable. So yeah. Erica, this happened so long ago. It's hard for me to remember. I know I didn't like her. I'm just trying to remember how much I didn't like her. I think I'm gonna put her here because in the end, she doesn't change a lot. And so even if I really didn't like her, she doesn't do anything to upset the show for me in the way that Derek and Amelia have. Okay, Helm. Yeah, Helm goes here for me. She's okay. Izzy. This is another one that I'll get yelled at. I've been told by several people, including my best friend, that if I rewatch the show, I will like her less and less every time I watch it, which is fair. But keeping in mind that I've only seen it one time, I love Katherine Heigl. I've always loved her. I wanted to be her when I was growing up. And the fact that I like her and Alex together. Just keep all of that in mind. She's gonna go here. I'm not sorry. It's my opinion. I don't know. Especially early in the seasons, she was willing to get made fun of time and time again for having too big of a heart. Now, does she make decisions later that are definitely selfish and change a lot of what I just said? Yes. But that is where she stays for now. Karasik. He's in between here and here for me. I'm gonna go here. Like, he's entertaining. I enjoy seeing him on screen. Yeah. Link.
Welcome to the OC, bitch.
Link goes... He's kind of in the same category as Karasik, where, like, I don't mind when he's on screen, but I don't know that I like the two of them. Okay, I'm changing this. They're gonna go here. Do I like Karasik more or less than Link? More. And Karina? Sure. McSexy. Oh my god. McSpeamy. He kind of goes here for me. He's my best friend's like ultimate favorite character. And I totally get it. Like, he's charming. He's very attractive. Miranda Bailey. Here's another one I might get yelled at for. We're gonna go here because she's still, I don't think she's a trash character. I think she still very much is iconic, but I just don't agree with hardly anything that she does. The way she reacts to anything, I think, is in poor taste. Penny, I liked Penny. I don't think that she should have been blamed for Derek's death the way that they do, but that episode, the coming to dinner, Who's Coming to Dinner, I think it's called something like that, is one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. And I think it's interesting that they decide to like weave her into all of the characters. Richard, he just can be cruel sometimes and is very hypocritical. And throughout how his character changes in the show, he's willing to tear down people that were once his students in order to make his career better again. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, and he generally just annoys me. So okay, Catherine Fox, please don't hate me. I hope that some people agree with me. I created this Satan category for Catherine Avery. She is terrible. She's terrible. She treats everyone like they're below her. She's terrible to Richard. She's pretty terrible to Jackson most of the time. And she's terrible to April. Some of the things that she does to April, I just can't even fathom. Made the Satan category for her. Also, this is a perfect time to bring up, this has nothing to do with the actors. Most of the acting on the show is phenomenal. Debbie Allen, all the things she's done, are you kidding me? It has nothing to do with the actors. It's just the character. Stephanie Edwards, she goes here? Yeah. Oh, Teddy. I made this question mark category specifically for Teddy because the beginning of the show, when she was first in it, I adored Teddy. When she comes back, I don't know what happens. She still has some great scenes, but they completely ruin her character with some weird writing choices, and I don't get her. I don't understand her at all. So I legitimately, like, I couldn't figure out how to put her in the tier, so I just made this question mark category for her. Winston, what a cutie. He can do no wrong, or at least he hasn't so far. Addison Montgomery. Does anyone not like Addison? Like, is that a thing? Because I've never heard anyone say anything bad about her, and most people are just like straight up in love with her. Ow. Oh no, there's duplicates. Benjamin Warren. Benjamin Warren is the closest thing, I said this in my crying video, he is the closest thing we have to the perfect man in this show. And not just the perfect man, but like the perfect person. Like, he is just a good person that cares about Bailey, that cares about whatever job he has at the time, cares about his kids. And he's so unproblematic. And I adore him. And I'm so afraid that they're going to do something to ruin that someday. DeLuca. DeLuca goes there. Him and Arizona are kind of tied. I love DeLuca. The second that his character showed up on screen in that ambulance, I literally was like, I don't know, like instantaneously, I was all in. And they only do better and better things with his character. I adore him. Denny, wow. I feel like that goes without saying. Okay, George. Ooh, George is another contender for that question mark category because I think he has to be. Because I really like him at the beginning of the show. I think that his character is someone that show specifically needs. They need someone to be sweet and innocent and kind. But then they change his character too much. Some of the things that they get him into, which I know that had a lot to do with like what was going on behind the scenes as well. But they change his character too much, and then they bring him back full circle in time. But yeah, Henry. I liked Henry. Henry was cute. Herman. She's so terrible when she first shows up. And then her and Arizona's relationship, I love it so much. Jackson. Jackson grew on me a lot. Probably there. Yeah. I didn't like him for a lot of seasons. Like, not even like the first couple seasons he was in. No, like most of the show. And then you just realize that he's grown so much and they've made him into such like a relaxed, good character. And yeah, over time, for sure. Okay, who's next? Joe. Joe's difficult. Watching over Sam's shoulder, I thought that Joe would be one of my favorite characters. Just in the scenes that I saw her in, I really like her presence and I think she's beautiful. And I just kind of assumed that she would be one of my favorite characters. But I feel like the writers never had a good hold on what they wanted for Joe and who they wanted Joe to be. They definitely, like, she was brought in to be Alex's love interest, which is totally fair. Alex is, was one of their main characters. But if things were more dramatic, I think she could go in the question mark tier. But I don't know. I'm gonna put her here, probably. Leah. Oh my god. When they brought her back, I was like, what? Like, what? Eli. Lexi. Lexi is also one of my best friend's favorite characters. I definitely think she's one that, like, rewatching it, I would probably like her a lot more. But yeah, I know she's a lot of people's favorite, and I totally get it. Maggie. Ugh. I just think she's annoying. Hayes. I really like the addition of Hayes. Megan. Pre the last season, Megan Hunt was in like a couple of episodes and I was obsessed with her. She's just good. She's just a good person. She makes people laugh. She's very selfless. I adore her. Meredith. Meredith has grown on me. Meredith, I didn't like her at first. I didn't understand why she was our protagonist. I didn't want to root for her. I wanted to root for the other people in the show. And then over time, you get to like the way later seasons and all of a sudden you're like, I love Meredith. Meredith's great. And you're like, when did that happen? Like, it sneaks up on you. And I remember my best friend saying that to me and I was like, okay. And then I just like filed it away. But yeah, at some point she just like sneaks up on you and all of a sudden you love her and you're rooting for her and you want her to be happy. I don't know how that happened. Nico goes in the trash character. He's terrible to Levi. Their relationship is so toxic. I don't know. He's terrible. And he doesn't add anything besides that. Like, he doesn't have a character outside of making Levi feel terrible and then making Levi feel really, really great about himself and then breaking that all down. I can't stand him. it's time for me to get yelled at. As I mentioned in my previous Grey's videos, I love Owen Hunt. Owen Hunt is my absolute favorite character of the show. I told you, I said I had hot takes and you were probably like, they're probably not that hot. No, they are. Everyone hates this man. They hate him. They hate Owen Hunt. Hear me out. Editing Kelsey here. I got really spicy and filmed a lot of footage of me explaining why we should forgive Owen for a few things. And I didn't totally do justice of explaining like why I like him in the first place, or how I feel about the things that he did do wrong. So here's what I have to say instead. I do not agree with everything that Owen does by a long shot. I think that he should be held accountable for the things that he does, but that means two things. First of all, he should be held accountable for the things that he does, that he is responsible for. I don't know how the internet decided that Owen was going to be the show's scapegoat and that we were going to blame him for the plane crash and people leaving and this and this and this and this, but that's doesn't make any sense, and I'm tired of reading comments about it. But number two, if we're going to hold him accountable for things that he's actually done, then we should hold other characters accountable for the things that they've done too. I do not think that cheating is okay under any circumstances, but if we're going to hold Owen accountable for cheating on Christina with such fervor, then we should also hold all the other characters accountable, because almost everyone in this show cheats. It's Mark, it's Addison, McSteamy, Meredith, Alex, Izzy, George, Arizona, Teddy, Riggs. It's so many people. So I think if we're going to hold him accountable for that, then we should also hold other characters accountable for it too. As far as why I really like Owen, I find his character really interesting. I think that all the shit that he's gone through in the show, he always has the best of intentions, except for the things that he does to Christina that I don't agree with. I really like his place in the show because of that, except for a few things that I think writing-wise just didn't make sense. And I really like his presence on screen, which we can thank Kevin McKidd for. So that's all. I got a little spicy, so you're welcome for cutting this down. Next. I think the only other character on here I haven't already done is Burke. Honestly, like, he's fine. I understand that in real life there were a lot of things going on, and you can blame the actor for the things that he did in real life that were terrible, that he shouldn't have done, and the way he reacted to it. But his character wasn't terrible. I think that those lines got blurred a little bit. Nathan Riggs, who I love, he would have gone in this tier with Megan. And Shane, I liked Shane. Okay, I've decided I have too many people in this no opinion category, and I need to change that a little bit. I'm gonna bring April up, Callie up, and then I'm gonna bring Jackson up. Okay, question marks, yeah. Satan, always. Trash tier. Okay, I'm gonna stand by this. I can't wait to see your lists and read all of your comments fuming about Owen. But I hope that you enjoyed getting to hear me talk about Grey's again. There's always more Grey's content, so I'm sure I'll be able to do another video in the future about it. But thanks for listening to me rant. Okay.